Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pop Go the Writers. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing.
Good, good. Yeah, I got a little confused there, and I didn't even move my mic over until the last second.
Are you
Uh,
okay? Are you going to be okay for an hour, Dan? I mean, we're not going to have to hold your hand or anything,
no,
right?
I think I'm going to be able to do this, because I got a lot of things swirling in my mind, but you
Okay.
know,
If we
uh,
talk about Willow, I have a lot to say about Willow.
we are going to talk about Willow.
Good.
I am surprised because nothing happened in the episode, but it was probably the most visually stunning.
Nothing happened.
So, well, tell me what your thoughts. Let's go ahead, jump right into Willow.
I cannot believe how much one show could bounce back in my perspective, in my point of view, how much that one episode really brought me right back. I really that was the balance of drama and funny one-liners that I had hoped for. And in fact, I think it was more drama than anything.
Oh
Some
yeah,
really wonderful character moments. Yes, the visuals were just stunning in this one, and it really was what I wanted to see and hear after the last maybe like 2.5, 3 episodes of wondering what the hell I had wandered into.
yeah. By the way, Happy New Year, Amy. Good to see you. Amy's
Happy
one
New
of our regulars who always says nice comments and stuff. So it's good to see you. I hope you're having a great New Year.
and
Yeah,
happy 2-year anniversary to the show.
yeah. That blew my mind. Jim sent me a message today reminding me that it was just the 2 year anniversary of Pop Go the Writers, and I kind of knew it was, but when I thought about, I thought maybe it was a 1 year anniversary. Because
Well,
the last 2 years have just blurred together so much.
okay, I see what you're saying. It came up in my Facebook memories.
Yeah,
How because I was on that very first episode with two others who are not Paul Story.
yeah. Dan Taylor, former editor at IDW,
Yeah.
and Rosalinda. Oh wow, her last name escapes me at the moment. But Rosalinda is a novelist who does just a ton of great books out there.
I liked her a lot. She was so fun. I
Oh yeah,
remember having a fun back and forth with her. So we do apologize for not remembering your name.
yeah. It just escaped my mind. I see her all the time on Facebook, and we chat every once in a while. And Rosalinda is awesome. I absolutely adore her.
She really is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, in a second I will remind. I'll let Jim talk, and I'll double check and remember get her
Okay.
name back in my brain and
Okay.
let you guys know, so you can look up. She has got a ton of great books on Amazon. So I want to say it's Rosalinda Diaz, but I'm not 100%.
Wow, that sounds familiar. You know what? I think that is who it is.
Yeah. And her first name is very unique, and I think her last name is a little more of a common last name. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is great for when you're trying for celebrity. It's like Indiana Jones, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Get that first unique name, and then the last name can be whatever you want.
Yeah. I hate my name, but at least it's short and somewhat easy to remember.
I always get you confused with the drummer for ZZ Top.
The one guy who didn't have a beard.
Yeah, Dave Beard.
Yeah. And then of course the famous chef of the 20th century, James Beard, which
Yes,
is really my name, but no one seems to remember him.
I remember James Beard. Yeah, it is Rosalinda Diaz,
Yeah.
and I do highly recommend looking for her books out on Amazon. By the way, and I am going to reach out and see if we can get her back on the show. I don't know if there's a topic specific.
We should have had like a three doctors reunion, four doctors reunion type of show for the
We should.
anniversary.
I should be able to. I should bring her back and Dan Taylor and Paul
And
all
Paul.
in one episode.
Yeah, I miss
You know?
Paul.
Yeah, like maybe I'll reach out and try to do that kind of an anniversary episode now
Yeah,
that we're.
that would be really fun.
Yeah. So wow,
Did
but
you
2
watch
years.
Willow?
I did. I watched Willow, um, and I really liked the episode.
Good.
But again, there was very little silly humor. You
Mhm.
described it, as people running up to the microphone, and I thought that was brilliant because that is been the big complaint for me is that it's you break these moments of good drama and good action with these silly little jokes that just don't really fit right.
Yeah, and it's Borman who's responsible, the character who's responsible for a lot of that. And while he got those in this time, it did not make the entire thing like a farce
Well,
at
yeah,
all. In fact, at one point, I really was taking him seriously because he was really like trying to get out of that situation. He knew it wasn't going anywhere, and he really wanted to get out of that. But I mean, I actually started to like Kit
yeah.
in this
Kid
one,
came across a
or
lot better.
feel for her. But yeah, overall, I just two different declarations of love between two different sets of characters. Um, I I really, really enjoyed that, and I really have high hopes now for the ending. I went and looked something up because I said, how in the world do they do an episode like that, but have those other ones that preceded it? And I went and looked this up, and this is very interesting to me, and it's something that I've never totally understood about television shows. Every episode before this one has been written by a different person.
Mm.
And then this one was written by 3 of the writers who had previously written episodes, but supposedly they wrote this one all together. To me, I don't know. I mean, I know Hollywood or whatever has its own rules, but I never really understood how you can have a TV show, and especially one that's only 8 episodes long or whatever, where you have that many different writers. Like, wouldn't it be better if it's 6 to 8 episodes that one person writes the whole thing, so it really is tight and consistent? In
Yeah,
the
I mean,
old
we
days,
get great shows like that. Yeah, we get great shows that, like look at Peacemaker when that came out. I don't think you watched it, but James Gunn wrote those.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was consistently well written. But it would also be interesting if you flip that on its ear and basically assigned a writer to all the major characters. So
yeah.
to make sure the voice of that character was consistent. So
I
like if you
agree.
and I were in a writer's room and I was writing Graydon and you were writing Kit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then one kind of overarching person to bring, make sure it all is consistent and tight. Remind me, wasn't Andor pretty much written by one person?
I believe so. The guy who wrote Rogue One and
Yeah. Yeah, now
So
see that I would say, yeah, I could see that as it was going along. But this, I got to tell you, this Willow really is schizophrenic.
yeah,
And I can see that, but somehow these 3 writers came together on this one, and it all worked. If only this balance was struck, all along. Because honestly, Dan, they lost some people. I think I saw a significant amount of reactions online saying, "I'm out." I did 3 episodes and
yeah.
this is just stupid, and I'm out. Now I feel bad because I want to say, wait, try to stick around. Like this, like number 7 is really, really, really good.
Yep. I think it really depends on how they stick the landing, or if they stick the landing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the final one turns out really good, I think word of mouth might bring people back.
Yeah. The
But
one thing that I did not like was this Cthulhu stuff that they're bringing into it. I mean, they literally described Cthulhu in it. The Leviathan sleeping under the waves who will reawaken and lay havoc on the world and all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, come on, can't we just have one thing in the world that does not have Lovecraft or Cthulhu?
yeah,
Like everybody does Cthulhu. Stop it.
Lovecraft is the new zombie, which
Ugh.
was the new vampire.
No, I think people have been doing this for years now, and I can't believe that everybody still wants it, and not everybody's sick of it.
Well, the problem is, and this is I'm going to bring this in from the other show.
Yeah.
I do in stores this week with Kyle, who you know, and a guy named Jay Burns, and where I have what?
No, I know that name. Yeah.
And Jay pops up here every once in a while.
That's
and
right.
He's my producer on Tuesdays for.
That's probably how I know it.
Yeah. But he, where I'm sick of post-apocalyptic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost all indie comics nowadays seem to be post-apocalyptic. He's sick of Cthulhu and Lovecraft. And we've been talking about that. Zenoscope is bringing all that stuff into their books.
Yeah.
And I mean, so many people are bringing that in, and it's not necessarily being done well.
No.
In all cases.
No.
And it's there's a certain style that has to be done to make it work. And part of it is don't show the damn creatures. You know, that's it. Lovecraft is about the suspense and the thickness of the vocabulary used and the dialogue. It's a very unique style of writing, and not everybody can do it.
And don't forget about all the depression that's involved.
Yeah. Well,
I have a very, very unpopular opinion about all of that stuff, and I try to keep it to myself because most of my writer friends are huge Lovecraft fans. So in order to have any friends or writing, associates, I have to.
My ex-wife is a huge Lovecraftian fan.
Who?
My ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
So there used to be books all over the house, and every once in a while I would try to read them. There was a book series called Shadow over Innsmouth, I think it was called, or Shadow over Baker Street, and it's where modern day writers tried to mix Sherlock Holmes and Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And a couple of them did a good job, and a couple didn't. Neil Gaiman had a thing in there. But I did pick up on it, and I ended up doing a series at Zenoscope. I did 2 of 3 miniseries that I had planned. It was Call of Wonderland and Madness of Wonderland, and there was going to be Shadow over Wonderland was going to be the 3rd one. I never got to do it. But the whole idea was that Lovecraft was opposing Charles Dodson, who, of course, is what's his pen name? There's
Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll. And Carroll is trying to open the door to all these creatures and stuff coming in, which is something that's part of Zenoscope's thing. Well, I have Lovecraft trying to create barriers, and he does so by the use of his language. He creates it with the thickness of his writing. And nowadays, those barriers are falling because we use LOL and anagrams and emojis and stuff, and those walls are, so I've played in that world, but most of the time people, they don't understand that Lovecraft is about, like I said, is about sanity and depression, and I mean, but there was one book that came out this week that was Rick and Morty versus Cthulhu. And you would think, oh my God. Well, I got to tell you, it's the exact opposite. This was the only book I've read least recently that used it properly, that did a good job with it. And it's because the writer is Jim Zub. And Jim is doing the same thing in Rick and Morty versus Cthulhu that he does in most of his writing. Jim is a role player, a tabletop role-playing guy. Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu. He didn't base it on Lovecraft's writing. He based it on the tabletop game, Call of Cthulhu, which is the 2nd most popular tabletop role-playing game. There's Dungeons and Dragons and there's Call of Cthulhu.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
Well, the first thing, there really aren't that many popular ones.
Okay.
I mean,
are you talking about like overall or currently?
Currently.
Okay.
Like GURPS used to be popular, but it's kind of faded out, stuff like that. But Call of Cthulhu is kind of number 2.
Okay.
and basically it's all about trying to keep your sanity and stuff like that. So Jim does an excellent job, just like he does when he writes like Red Sonja. It reads more like a D&D adventure because that's the style that he writes,
Sure.
and it really works and that along with the humor of Rick and Morty really meld together well. But I'm seeing stuff like, I love the guys over at Zenoscope. They treated me well for many years, but this new path that they're taking doesn't really come across right. It doesn't feel like their books, and it doesn't it doesn't really work.
I'll be pitching them Cthulhu versus My Little Pony.
I like it. That would be IDW.
Because as far as I can tell, that's the only thing that hasn't been, versus Cthulhu yet. I think everything else has pretty much been done, and more than once.
Oh yeah, no. But you'd have to pitch that to IDW. They have the license for My Little Pony.
Right. That is right. You are absolutely right. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. There was something that bugged me in the Willow episode. I know we kind of went way off topic there, but that's
no. It's Cthulhu versus Willow, so no.
Yeah. Graydon.
Yeah.
Graydon can suddenly do magic.
I see what you're saying there, although I didn't feel the way you did. I felt more like, oh, that's interesting, but not in a bad way. I think I can kind of see that he was sitting on it all along, and now that he has some confidence, going on, that he did it. But please, I'd like to hear your thoughts more on that, please.
To me, it felt like he was out of right field or out of left field.
Okay.
Because had they been setting it up slowly, but we get the stuff where his brother gets killed, we get some flashes. The only way this works for me is if he's still possessed.
I think that's what I was kind of thinking was going on, or there is at least some sort of residual effect going on. He has this, whatever's going on with his like scratching or whatever the heck thing is going on. And then I said, oh, there's still some residual stuff going on there. Now he has shown himself to be a sort of magical history fanboy.
Yeah.
And citing different things. So maybe that kind of helped me take it in stride a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, I think there's still some more explanation to that. I think it's very interesting that it's the flute that, is the wand or whatever. I mean, obviously we're going to get to the point where Alora does not need that wand. It's just was channeling or whatever, that she probably just, if she's the greatest of all, then I can't see that she needs that wand at all.
But I think, tell me if it didn't come across to you this way, the look of the show changed. Everybody was more confident. They were shot from kind of up angles and stuff. And it might be because where they were filming. It seems like everything up until this was done in location. This, I think, was shot on the volume.
Yeah, that's a really great point, Dan. I was going to say, I think that the tone or the feel, everything's changed because their environment changed. They're literally off the map now. They're completely away from anything that any of them really know. Even Willow, I mean, he's never been across the Shattered Sea or whatever it is. I absolutely love that the Shattered Sea is like 2 inches deep, or whatever it is, because we're going to walk across it. And I'm like, okay, well, there's some kind of magic involved. And then when they start going out on that sled, I'm like, I'm not quite getting how this is happening. And then it, makes sense. But I really love that idea, and that they're like stopping every so often at these little, bits of raised earth or whatever in the middle of it. I thought the environment was really cool. I love the brief chase when the bad guys were after them. I wish there was a little bit more of that, but I think that's probably why.
But see, that's kind of also my. This is going to be weird. I liked the episode. It's one of my favorite episodes, but I have problems with
Sure.
it. Where did this guy come from? The bad guy? We haven't really seen a henchman or anything since they killed the possessed people. So where did this guy come from?
Well, these are the guys that have been after him all along, isn't it?
I thought all those guys were gone. They cleaned them up in the episode where everybody came together in the dark.
Oh, I didn't think so. We see that differently. I didn't think that was the case. No.
Yeah, see, I don't know where this guy came from. Where the bird creature came from, we hadn't set that up before either.
Oh, well, one of them is a shapeshifter.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hey, you know what? And this is interesting. I'm looking at who the directors are. This was a completely different director that has not directed an episode yet.
Who is he and how do we keep him?
It's Jamie Childs. I'm assuming that's a guy.
Maybe.
Yeah, and he or she has not directed one. Philippa Lothorpe has directed 2. Debs Patterson has directed 2, and Stephen Wolfenden has directed 2. It's been going in 2s. Stephen did the first 2.
That's
Debs
a good sign for the last episode
2.
then.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that maybe this Jamie is doing the last one also.
Can you see what they've done prior? What other stuff they've done?
No, it doesn't. Like, I'm on Wikipedia. Wikipedia doesn't allow me to click on Jamie Childs. But yeah, I bet you that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, it just felt like little things were kind of moved forward. And it's like, why didn't we spend more time building up Graydon and have magic? Okay, well, maybe he's possessed. That would make sense. Why are we not spending more time with whoever these guys chasing them are, where they just came from out of the blue?
Okay.
What the hell was the guy in the cabin, and why did Graydon suddenly know they had to get out of there at that point?
There was at least a precedent. There has been a precedent with these sort of guest spots by weird characters who are there for an episode and then gone.
Yeah.
For some reason. Hey, this Jamie Childs did direct Doctor Who and, pertinent to your interest, The Sandman.
Oh, okay.
Worked on the Sandman series.
There was some definite, like I said, everybody appeared to be more heroic. And again, they shot on an up angle. Willow looked badass in this episode.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Well, you know what? It's funny because I liked Willow. And then I started to not like him. I had said at one point, I think it was to you, that like he's kind of a jerk. He's kind of cold. He's kind of a jerk. But now I came back to liking him again.
Yeah.
By the way, it does say Jamie Childs directs the final episode too. So this one and the final episode on IMDb.
I am looking forward to this finale. It looks like Kit and Lorna are going to have to go up against Kit's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that character too. It's like suddenly we have a new character in the book or in the story.
Are you talking about the girl?
Yeah, but then she's the crow.
I was going to say she's the crone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of reveals. Otherwise, the story doesn't make sense. So I think Graydon's going to have been possessed. He might have been possessed the whole time. When they attacked that night and the head of the guard or whatever it was got possessed, It's possible he got possessed as well, and he's been possessed the whole time.
Well, I'm hoping that the possession is not doing the talking when he tells Alora that he loves her. That would be kind of sad.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even sure who's supposed to end up with who anymore.
I'm thinking Eric doesn't come out of this at all, and Alora does end up with Graydon. But I mean, I could be completely wrong, and they could literally just defy expectations and kill Graydon off.
Yep. If it was Ryan Johnson, everybody would end up dead because that would defy expectations, you know. We
Well,
killed Willow. How are we gonna have
when
a
they
second season?
finally find Mad Mardigan, he doesn't want to have anything to do with his sword, and he throws it over his shoulder.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he finally meets his daughter, and blah 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 blah.
yeah. We finally meet Mad Mardigan. Turns out he's opened a restaurant.
Yeah,
He's just a cook now.
look at me making jokes about Last Jedi.
Nice. By the way, I've come completely back around on Rian Johnson. I just think he should never have done the Star Wars thing, but he should direct and write whatever the hell he wants.
Right. Remember, you like those Daniel Craig movies, right?
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
you go.
Yeah,
I just love that. I think I said that last time. It's quite delicious for me to have all the people who hate Rian Johnson, and then he does these two movies that everybody loves, and their heads are probably going, hate Rian Johnson, love Rian Johnson, hate Rian. What?
yeah. For me, there are very few pieces of media that I hate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really, really have to do something horrible for me to hate something.
Like Cthulhu.
Yeah, I don't mind Cthulhu. I don't mind. I will say the only thing that falls into the hate category is what Seth Rogen did with Green Hornet.
Why did I know you were going to say?
that he should be drawn and quartered or tarred and feathered or whatever you want to do to that. But other than that, I don't have a lot of hate for. So, did I like Last Jedi? There was a lot of problems with it, But then I didn't like Force Awakens that much either. What?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I didn't like Force Awakens. So, but I didn't like Force Awakens because they unnecessarily took away the happy endings that we got in Return of the Jedi.
Okay. Well, the same could be said for Willow. That was a happy ending.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have sequels to anything at all. There was a happy ending at the end of A New Hope, right? I think Empire Strikes Back really screwed up that happy ending.
But you're not ending one movie, you're ending a trilogy. and unnecessarily. If there is a good story, what happened to Laura Dannon is a great story. The setup for the Force Awakens and stuff, what the hell was that? What story were they continuing? They could have closed the door on Luke and gone 1,000 different ways. They didn't need to bring Han, Chewie, Leia, and Luke into it.
Are we going to do this now? Because I have to do a few warming up exercises if we're going to do this.
No, we're going to save.
We're still going to have that special episode if the fans demand it.
Yes, we'll do a special episode.
Yeah, I know you all wanted a happy ending between Dan and I, but we're going to go Last Jedi all over on you.
Yeah, I think I need to prepare a backup co-host for that. To go after that show. So I need a little time.
Damn. Okay. Wow. You went there. All right.
But no, I am looking forward to the finale of Willow just to see how they wrap it up, and I'm looking forward to it a lot more since this last episode. I thought the episode was great. I love the way it was filmed. I love the magical duels and the sword fighting. Again, the camera angles and stuff are so good.
Very Harry Potter-ish.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, which is not a bad thing. I mean, honestly, bring in the Harry Potter fans. Why not?
Yeah. And it was such a unique, if they didn't film on the volume, I'll be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it sure felt like that's where they were. And that's the only thing I can think of that made sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's such a bleak, that though the fact that they could walk across the water and there's a creature underneath it kind of blows my mind too.
Well, I guess it's supposed to be like mud under there, and that creature was like some mud thingy.
Yeah, named Kenneth. I'll name you Kenneth. Why are you naming him?
Because he bonded with it. It's his soulmate.
Yeah. I have issues with the episode, but I'll wait and see what happens
Okay.
in the finale of those issues. Because again, I don't understand why Graydon suddenly said, "We have to get out of here now." How he knew the guy was going to flip. We never get that explanation. And nobody asks him. That's the part that blows my mind.
Things happen too fast.
Okay, it happened too fast at the moment, but then they spend months on this sled thing. Mm-hmm. Somebody could have said, "Hey, Graydon, by the way, how did you know that nice guy was going to try to kill us?"
I think the explanation's coming.
All right, so
you have only to wait till Wednesday.
Let's move on to another topic. We did talk about how we're going to talk about what shows and stuff we're most anticipating. We mentioned last week we should do that this week.
Okay.
But before we get into that, did you catch the Return of the Bad Batch? Are you watching the Bad Batch?
No. That's like way back on the back burner for me. I watched, I think, the first 2 episodes of season 1, and I have a guy that I work with who watches Bad Batch, and he usually tells me about it. He told me about the first episode, and I liked the premise that they are going to clean out Dooku's castle or whatever it was, which I thought was a really interesting premise.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes, it's a 2-parter over that mission, which I thought was really good. They're moving the show along. The thing I've got some issues with Dave Filoni, and this is going to get me.
Not Dave Filoni, you mean God?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get some hatred for this, but to me, Dave Filoni's a little bit of a one-trick pony. Let's bring in a new show. We'll have a main character or some adults, and then we'll bring in a child of some sort that's going to be somewhat annoying or whatever and has to grow on you. And eventually their growth will become, and this is what he does. This is Star Wars, the Clone Wars. He did that with Ahsoka. It's Mandalorian with Grogu. It's the Bad Batch with Omega. The way they say Omega. Omega.
Is Dave Filoni's like George Lucas Jr. though, right?
Yeah, but it's also basically what they did with Kenobi.
True.
You know?
Absolutely. Yep. I don't know how much Dave Filoni was not the showrunner for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No,
I think what it is now other people involved with Lucasfilm are picking up on that trend because they're saying, "Oh, look at how many times it's worked." So,
but no, Filoni and Dave and Jon Favreau are kind of overseeing all the television stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I agree. Yes, that trend is obviously very much there. It's funny. And I was joking about Dave Filoni as God because of that meme that goes around where like it's his head floating in the clouds and somebody like worshiping or whatever. And and that bugged me. It's like, yeah, you can like a person's work, but don't go that far. Because now it's funny, his star is falling. I'm sort of taking the temperature, at least on Twitter, and I'm starting to see like people saying like Dave Filoni did not create blah blah, like they're talking about Thrawn, and really some people were really kind of slamming Dave Filoni, which I don't know. There was anticipation for the Ahsoka show, but now I'm starting to see a lot of this like it better not be this, or it better be this, or I'm going to burn everything down, kind of thing. Which is
and that's part of it.
Star Wars stuff.
There is definitely a toxic side to the Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, you think? Yeah.
And the thing is that I've enjoyed most of the stuff from Star Wars. I loved Andor. I liked Kenobi quite a bit. I love The Mandalorian. Book of Boba Fett had some. It could use some help. But it wasn't.
Yeah, it had the setup. The setup of episodes was too weird. It was, 2 shows jammed together.
Yeah, I mean, you had 2 episodes of The Mandalorian in the middle of it.
Right. Right.
So, but overall, I thought, they're doing some good stuff. But it's almost like he is. What do you mean you didn't watch Clone Wars and Rebels? Well, you're going to watch it now. I'm going to bring this character in and that character in. And
He can say that all he wants because I still have not gone back. It's like sat down and watched however the hell many years of that stuff that there is.
They're not bad. But they aren't. But they're cartoons. There is that younger skewed thing,
Yeah, sure.
And there's some good stuff, but Ahsoka is annoying as hell in Clone Wars.
That's what I'm to understand. I remember when she first showed up in live action, in Mandalorian, and I had to sort of do my research on her, and that was one of the first things that I came across was that like nobody liked her in the beginning because she was totally annoying.
Yeah. But and he's like, well, I will make you like her. He's trying to be Kevin Feige, but I don't know if it's working. Kevin Feige, God love Kevin Feige, because he'll listen to fans who'll come out and say, oh, that was horrible. And he'll go, really? And then he'll double down on it. Right. And double down again until everybody's going, oh my God, I love that. What the hell? Right. And my case in point in that, Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery.
Yeah, right. That's the best example of them all. It really, really is.
I saw absolute excitement when they suddenly announced that Trevor Slattery is going to be in the Wonder Man series when they make it. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, it's great. Ben Kingsley's back. All right. I'm like, you guys hated him in Iron Man 2.
I'm totally expecting there to be a Trevor Slattery series. Like he gets his own series.
Oh, yeah. Trevor and Morris. There you go. That's what you call it. Trevor and Morris. And I would watch the hell out of that. I absolutely would. But, that's the thing is, what do you mean you didn't like Thor the Dark World? Well, now it's important to everything. You didn't like the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton? It's important to everything now. We're bringing back General Ross, we're bringing back the leader. And Tim Blake Nelson walks out on the stage being announced for Captain America New World Order, and people go nuts. And it's like, you didn't like the movie.
You probably didn't even remember what the hell, that he was in the damn thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's there are people like, well, I never watched the Hulk. I heard it was bad. Really? Because it's important now. The Abomination's back. The leader's back. General Ross is back. And even though they're having to switch actors, I mean, the only person that hasn't come back is Betty.
I saw that rumor. They're talking to Liv Tyler. And you know what? Honestly, if they're not talking to Liv Tyler, I'd be shocked. And I would say, why aren't you at least reaching out to her and saying, would you be interested in coming in to be part of the Thunderbolts movie? Whatever. I'd be shocked if they didn't at least, call her agent and say, can we have a meeting with Liv, please?
I would call her agent because you need to have the James Rhodes moment that was in Iron Man 2. Mm-hmm. When Don Cheadle walks into the congressional hearing and Tony comes up and goes, "You're here." And he's like, "Yeah, it's me. Get over it." And that's basically telling the audience, yeah, we have a new roadie, but you need to have that with General Ross. And the only person that's going to be able to lock that in is if the daughter we know he had is the one to do it.
Yeah. Good point. Great point.
Mm-hmm. So bringing Liv back will make the transition to Harrison Ford make it a lot easier. But,
and if she doesn't want to do it or can't do it or whatever, I'm pretty sure they have Jennifer Connelly's phone number.
True.
You know, everybody who's ever been in any Marvel Studios or any in this, 15 years of movies and television or whatever, they're all probably like keep looking at the phone, waiting for it to ring. Like they'll bring back anybody now. Every last little person that's been in anything is waiting for that phone call.
Or Lou Ferrigno's at home going, "Come on."
Yes, I'm sure that's probably the case.
Rex Harrison. Just to show up in a cameo in Daredevil would be hilarious.
No, Rex Smith.
Rex Smith, sorry, you're
he's
right.
Dr. Doolittle and he's dead.
Yes.
Rex Smith. I don't even know if Rex Smith is alive. He might.
I would assume he is, but yeah.
I'm hoping he's alive.
Yep. And of course, the guy that played Thor in the Hulk episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but he was also on. He was in Robin Hood Men in Tights, and he was on the TV show with D.L. Hughley's show.
Right. Have you seen did you see the big, I have to admit, it was kind of funny. Now it's just, it got annoying, but the whole, the rumors that were coming out about people who's going to be in Avengers Secret Wars. So everybody picked up on it, and it's like, literally, it's like, Rick Moranis returns as Dark Helmet in Avengers Secret Wars.
Yep.
Even people who are dead, they're so-and-so returns as whoever. I mean, from everything and anything. And in the middle of all of that is the real rumors. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, I don't know who else or whatever, but so I have no idea. They totally lost me on if there's anything real in any of that news whatsoever.
It's funny you brought up Dark Helmet and Mel Brooks movies. I just at dinner, I was introducing my nephew and his boyfriend to my favorite scene from Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Okay.
And they're not Mel's best movie, to be honest. I mean, it's God love Mel. I really do. I absolutely love Mel. But there's the scene where they go in to kill Lucy in the crypt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Mel Brooks as Van Helsing and Steven Weber as, I never remember the name, Jonathan or whatever it is. Yeah, Harker.
Yeah.
And he convinces her, but the first thing she's dead. No, she's Nosferatu. And his response is, she's Italian? And then he lines up the stake to kill her, and he hits it, and this blast of blood comes up like they've opened a fire hose. And he's like, oh, so much blood. And he's like, she's almost dead. He's like, no, you must do it again. She's not. And how much blood could be left? He lines it up and he hits it, and a bigger blast of blood just hits this poor guy in the face. And Brooks leans around the corner where he's been hiding to keep the blood off of him. Yeah, she's almost dead. And his response is, she's dead enough.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's the best scene in the movie.
Someday I'll have to tell you all about my love for High Anxiety.
Oh, High Anxiety is great.
It really is.
Yeah, it is.
I saw it in the theater originally.
Nice.
Yeah.
I own a record, an actual vinyl record of Mel Brooks music.
Okay.
And I got it at like a Long's drugstore. I don't know if you had them back where you were.
I know of it. No, we had Lanes.
Yeah. Long's is long gone. But so I bought this album there, and it's got the High Anxiety song on it,
which I
Blazing
love.
Saddles, Hope for the best, expect the worst. Yeah. Springtime for Hitler.
Oh, wow. All the hits.
All the hits up until then. So it was like early 80s.
Yeah.
It didn't have Men in Tights or anything like that because it was still before that.
Did it have Putting on the Ritz from Young Frankenstein?
I think it did.
Okay.
By the way, the song Putting on the Ritz is now in the public domain this year. It
I
was
would have
made in
thought it would have
19.
been by now, but
Nope, it was made in 1927.
okay.
So as of the first of this year, we can do Putting on the Ritz. We could sing it right now, and they
And
couldn't do
nobody
it
can say
copyrighted.
nothing.
If
Well,
you're blue and you don't know where to go,
I was gonna say you
nowhere
sing it,
fast
Lord
and
of the
good.
Dance.
Putting on the Ritz.
I might do High Anxiety, but we'd get in trouble.
You just do the monster parts, okay? It looked like $1 million trooper. All right. All right, we should probably talk about what we're most anticipating in 2023.
I've looked up the Marvel Studios TV shows expected to come out this year. So when we get to that, I'm very excited to be able to say what I'm looking
Okay,
forward
well,
to.
you go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay. I am looking forward to Secret Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I'm not really looking forward to Echo. I mean, I say this all the time about, I'm not really looking forward to Loki. And then it turns out to be one of my most favorite shows. But
actually, I believe Echo's been postponed till the early 2024.
Oh, okay. What about Ironheart?
I believe that has as well. There's only supposed to be 3.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what they were. Loki 2, Secret Invasion, and one other one.
Oh, it's funny that Wikipedia doesn't even list Loki 2, but Secret Invasion, Echo, Ironheart, and Agatha, Coven of Chaos are the ones that are listed for 2023.
Uh-huh.
But Secret Invasion is, I'm looking forward to Loki, season 2, but I think Secret Invasion is like, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. What about the movies?
I've said it before. I'm not really looking forward to Quantum Mania. I'm not looking. I'm just like, okay, bring it on. I tell you, I think I'm really looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think I need to take a box of Kleenex with me, but other than that, I'm really looking forward to that. And then what's the other one that we get this year?
The Marvels.
Oh, no. I'm looking forward to 1/3 of the Marvels.
I am very much looking forward to Quantumania.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of the Ant-Man franchise.
Good.
Peyton Reed is the first Marvel director to complete a trilogy. Everybody else is
because James Gunn's doesn't come out until after it. Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Gunn will be the second. But it's like, yes, the Russo brothers have done 4 movies, but 2 were Captain America, and then the 2 Avengers films that were basically a 2-parter.
Sure.
No one else has gotten that level. So I'm looking forward to that. I really want to see how Kang is going to be elevated in this, and Jonathan Majors, because where the first 2 movies were very much insular and heist movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is going to be more like Avenger level stuff. This is going to be the big setup. So I think after this movie, we'll have a better idea of what the multiverse saga is going to be.
Finally, right?
Yeah, but you say finally, but we just came out of phase 4. This will be the first thing of phase 5.
Yeah.
We really didn't have that much of what the Infinity Stone or the Infinity Saga was going to be until phase 2.
That's true.
Phase 1 was all set up. So I kind of feel like phase 4 has been ramifications and setup.
Right. I like Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, and of course I'm going to go see it. I think what it is that in the trailers I haven't seen anything. The visuals haven't grabbed me yet from that. I don't know. It's like, what has there been 2 trailers?
I think it's just 1 so far. The next one's going to be on Super Bowl.
That's right. Isn't it? Oh, is it? I thought it was tomorrow. There was supposed to be
Oh, it
some.
might be tomorrow. Something else is coming out. It's good to
I'm
roll
looking at
that.
the calendar, and I swear to God, somebody said January 9th about something. Well, you know what? Maybe that will do it because I wasn't excited by that first trailer.
Yeah.
And you know what part of it is that Ant-Man wasn't doing any Ant-Man stuff because he's in a world where he's already shrunk down and everybody else is shrunk down if he's in the quantum realm, or you know what I mean. I'd like to see that, like him running around doing Ant-Man stuff.
Yeah. And
I'm,
there wasn't much humor in it either.
right that yeah, and I am looking forward to how they will use Cassie and how much setup there will be for her to be a superhero, which it looks like that's what we're gonna pretty much get.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, a lot of people seem to think she's going to become Stature.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to go with her other MCU name, or her other name, which is Stinger.
Oh yeah, no, I probably, yeah, I can totally see that. You know who who really took a back seat in that first trailer is Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
Like, there was more of Michelle Pfeiffer, her mother in it than Hope. So I don't know. I think I need to see something more, and I would have liked to have seen a full on Kang, like with his face more Kang like.
Well, we do get the scene where he's coming down.
Yeah, it's just I need a better boom. They're like, oh my God, it's Kang, actual Kang. So maybe it's just that I need a little bit more from another trailer for that. But yeah, I am looking forward to Guardians very much more, and I am looking forward to Monica in Monica Rambeau, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying in Marvels? Not looking forward to return of Brie Larson at all.
I have no problem with Brie Larson. I thought she was fine. It might have been the directing.
Sold me that part. She has never, to me, sold me, made me believe in that character at all.
But for me, it could be like Anakin in the prequels. Maybe it was the directing that got, but we'll see. I mean, I see her outside of it and she's fine. I enjoy her. I didn't dislike the movie. It isn't one of my favorites, but it's also not one of my bottom movies either.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's interesting because they say I'm looking forward to Secret Invasion, and the roots of Secret Invasion were in that first Captain Marvel movie. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I am really looking forward to Secret Invasion, partly because I want to see more of Martin Freeman's character.
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to see.
It'll be interesting. Jackson. It'll be interesting having Samuel L. Jackson in a TV series, basically.
Yeah,
that should be really interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing if it's not all those other series, what is it? If it's Secret Invasion, Loki 2. What would be the third one then?
It might be Agatha. It's probably Agatha, or it might be What If season 2.
See, you know what? As much as I like season 1, I don't count that. I'm for me, it's still, I look forward to the live action stuff.
Yeah, but characters from there did pop up in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. Are they even filming Agatha?
They've casted, and they've brought in some big names like what's her name? It's a big Broadway singer.
Oh, you're talking about now I'm not sure who you're talking about. Okay, principal photography had begun on December 13th of last year.
Yeah.
So it is being filmed.
Deborah Jo Rupp has come back from that 70s show. She's returned, who played the guest, the dinner couple that came like in the early She's
Gotcha.
coming
Right.
back.
Yes. Yeah.
Dottie is coming back.
Yeah.
Emma Caulfield. And then
Yeah.
they've added like Aubrey Plaza, but there's a big name they added. I'm trying to remember who. See if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I'm
But
trying. Deborah Jo Rupp,
no, bigger name than that.
Patty LuPone.
Patty LuPone. There it is.
Wow.
Yep, they added Patty LuPone.
Oh, they're on hiatus right now, and they're supposed to resume filming on January 17th.
Okay.
Huh.
So, for me on the movies, I think it's Ant-Man, the Marvels, and then Guardians for me. And it's not that I don't like the Guardians.
Yeah.
But when you know there's going to be some deaths and stuff, or you're going to lose characters, I'm always a little apprehensive. So,
sure.
And Guardians for me have always been kind of I've enjoyed it. Like, I wasn't necessarily looking forward to the holiday special. Watched it, loved it.
Okay.
Volume 2, wasn't necessarily looking forward to it. Watched it, loved it. And that's how it's been with Guardians. It's not one that gets my attention or I'm excited for. It's not characters I really grew up with, excited for.
Right.
And Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel is not necessarily one either. If we had started with Marvel and then went to Carol Danvers, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I can totally get on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, the death of Captain Marvel graphic novel was huge for me when I was a kid.
Right.
As a teenager reading about cancer coming to a superhero book, it was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But I am looking forward, and I really enjoyed Miss Marvel, the TV show Miss Marvel. So I want to see how that character plays in. I liked Monica Rambeau in the WandaVision. So, but I have a feeling, and again, that's another one that's going to be big on the cosmic side, and and the Kree Skrull stuff. So it'd be interesting to see how all that plays out too. I want to see what the overall plan is that Feige and the team have put together. And I think we're finally going to start seeing those. These are the movies that are going to start setting the table or show us what's on the table. We've been setting it.
Yes.
But, again, like Agatha House of Harkness or Agatha Coven of Chaos, not one I'm necessarily looking forward to, but I wasn't looking forward to WandaVision. It was brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to Moon Knight, and I'm looking forward to Daredevil Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones I'm looking forward to the most because those are the characters I feel attached to.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, of that stuff, I mean, and there's some non-MCU stuff. There's Kraven the Hunter is supposed to be out this year, which I'll have to see trailers and stuff before if I get excited about it or not.
And is that in the same universe as Venom and Morbius?
Yeah. And then, AJ, we were talking about you earlier. When you watch the replay, your name comes up. And also the Into the Spider-Verse, the first sequel, comes out, which is another one that I'm not necessarily excited about. But I went to the movies, I saw the first one, and thought it was awesome. Mm-hmm. Didn't like it as much as everybody else did, but liked it. So,
what about Star Wars stuff this year? It's pretty much, to me, it looks like it's Ahsoka, Mandalorian 3, and looks like probably Skeleton Crew.
Mandalorian is the one I'm really looking forward to.
That's number one with me. Yep.
I'm curious about Skeleton Crew, but I really need to see more other than Jude Law and not exactly sure what's going on. Ahsoka, it really comes down to, I haven't heard what the final casting is, but it should be interesting. I need to start seeing trailers and stuff for these things.
Yeah. That's it with me. I mean, Mandalorian 3 is a given with me. Yeah. I mean, I know it's going to be something that I'm going to like. Skeleton Crew really intrigues me, and I think having Jude Law at the top of it is going to be, really something. And Ahsoka, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I like her, well enough. She sold me on a character that I didn't know anything about at all. But like, if it's completely about the whole Thrawn thing, which I'm just not into. I read the first, original Thrawn novels, and was never that big. It was not that big of a deal to me even back then. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. So I'm going with Mandalorian 3 is what I'm really looking forward to.
So I do like the idea that if they do cast Lars Mikkelsen, it'll be the first time that I know of that we have brothers in the Star Wars universe.
Right. Yeah, right.
It's like, oh yeah, we got both Mads and Lars. Nice. So, all right, we need to wrap it up here. We've hit our hour. So thank you guys for tuning in. Jim, thanks for another great conversation. And we'll see you next week. Everybody.